Right, everybody, welcome to our Stupidity Autopsy, as I'm calling it. Today, I'm going to, in no specific order, analyze and break down the exact story and situation of everything I'm going to be mentioning on my list, so you guys have a full understanding of the stories behind each one. So let's jump right into it and begin. Hello, everybody. We are going to begin our Stupidity Autopsy today. And I'm not going in any order. I'm not following the rules of the list. This is just me talking and going on about the dumb things that we are discussing on the list. The first thing I'd like to talk about is Matt Feldman and his 24-hour sleeping routine. And for that, I've brought on special guest Tommy Minervini. Everybody say hi, Tom.
Hello, guys.
So, Tommy, can you explain to us what exactly happened with Matt and his 24-hour sleeping debacle?
Okay, so basically what happened is that we were working for school because we had to do something for school, and so we were sitting there. Me and Matt were just having a conversation, and out of nowhere, Matt goes, "My mom woke me up, but just before I came here, I was sleeping." I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Okay, so last night I went to bed at 6:30. I told my mom to wake me up at 7 because I just wanted to take like a 30-minute nap. He told me his mom forgot to wake him up, and he woke up at 6 the next morning, and then he said he stayed up for 30 minutes, and then he got bored, so he decided to go back to sleep, and then woke up at 6 again, and then he told me it was normal for him to sleep 24 hours straight every day, and I didn't know what to say to that."
See, now this is an incident where it's just almost not funny. It is depressing and concerning. I'm actually concerned for Matt because I think he might be in a coma sometimes when he's in his sleep routine. But yeah, that's just unbelievable. I mean, I know this is an autopsy. I'm supposed to break everyone down, but I mean, anyone who doesn't have a disorder, maybe Matt has another mental disorder, not sleep related, but anyone who says that they slept 24 hours in a day is not thinking clearly. So I'm not.
He also said it was normal.
Yeah. So I don't think this one. First of all, I don't think it deserves to be broken down, and second, I don't think it's needed. It's just common sense to understand why this is ludicrous. Okay, guys. So next on the list we have Nolan Sullivan's ice cube incident, and just to briefly break this down, he filled an ice cube tray with with water, and asked if it was how to make ice. Anyway, I got a special guest here, Kodiak Duff, who witnessed the incident, is going to explain it to us. Cody, take it away.
Alright. So, there was a couple boys at Nolan's house. It was a while ago. I don't remember exactly when. We were making smoothies, which required ice to be in it, and Nolan used all the ice that was in the ice tray at his house. So, I'm walking down the hallway, and as Nolan is refilling the ice tray, and he tries to confirm with all the other people there. He goes, "I would put water in this to make the ice, right?" And as I heard this, when I was walking down the hallway, I was pretty shocked, quite honestly. And that's all I have to say about the situation.
Okay, guys, so let's just review this situation. Now, anyone with a brain inside of their skull knows that water has three forms: gas, liquid, and a solid. Ice is frozen water. So if you're making ice, right, you can make ice in a lot of different ways. If you freeze it below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, ice will form. And whatever you put it in, if you put it in a plastic container, but, I mean, this is an ice cube tray. Common sense. Nolan filled the tray with water, put it in the freezer, and then asked if that's how you make ice. Not only did he ask this, he went and did it all, the whole time questioning himself, and then after he did it, asked the group of friends if he was doing it right. I have no words to express how disappointed I am that this happened. And to anyone involved, I apologize that you witnessed this and are now scarred that a 15-year-old male actually didn't know how to make ice using water and an ice cube tray and a freezer. One of the more mortifying incidents on our list. Next on the list, we have Chris Cassidy's Instagram incident. And, let me explain. I walked into history class after visiting Dr. A's classroom. And I visit Dr. A's classroom daily. I think that the class likes it and that I provide a sense of happiness to the classroom. So I came in a little late. And following me came Chris Cassidy. And the teacher said, Chris, let's go, you're late, to him. And then Kyer says, Chris, why is your schedule on your Instagram? So I pull it up, I look at it, and he posted a screenshot of his Genesis username and password, home address, phone number, and locker combination and number. The fact that this actually happened is amazing, because in order to go post something on Instagram, you have to open Instagram, right? Click post, select the photo, and click share. That is 4 to 5 clicks that you have to make to post a photo, so it's not an accident. And he screenshotted it. When I asked Chris why this happened, he told me he didn't know or remember why he did it. But it was posted 2 minutes ago, so on his way from Dr. A's classroom to the history room, he posted this picture. The fact that someone with he's a meme page, so I think he has 300 to 400 followers, posted all of their personal information on their Instagram using 5 to 6 clicks. They must have known they did it. And that makes it even scarier, that it couldn't be an accident. That makes it even scarier for me. And it's definitely one of the dumbest things that's happened. And I'm sorry to Chris that he's living the way that he is, and I'm sorry for anyone who was traumatized by the realization that Chris actually did what he did. Next on the list here that I'm analyzing is Emma Bosic. This one is a little worse than the others. In biology, we were learning about the Calvin cycle. The best way I can explain it shortly is it's part of the respiratory cycle. Emma raised her hand while the teacher was teaching at the board, and I quote said, "Does the Calvin cycle happen within our bloodstream or body?" Where do I start with this? I don't know what to say. When you breathe in, you're using your throat and your lungs. Same for when you breathe out. So we're learning about the Calvin cycle, something that happens within our bodies and plants. And she asked, does it happen within the bloodstream and inside of us. That's the best that I can actually explain this one. I don't know what else to say. It's extremely idiotic and traumatizing that this happened. Especially as we went over the lesson for at least a week. She must have had it in her mind the entire time that this is happening in our bloodstreams. I mean, I know that we're only freshmen, but I simply expect a little bit more than this. Alright, so next on the list is Kyer Bailey. Kyer, during wrestling season, got body slammed by Marcus Coutinho, who is known for a few things that I'm not going to mention online here, but that's okay. Kyer got body slammed by Marcus and ended up spraining or breaking his middle finger. We obviously thought this was funny and started to make fun of him. We were on our way down to the gym when we got in an argument, and Kyer stood at the top of a stairwell and just jumped. He didn't brace himself, didn't try to stop it, just jumped and hit the floor pretty hard. This is... Why would this happen to a normal person, would you ask yourself? Well, simply put, Kyer Bailey is not a normal person. Because anyone who would jump from a flight of stairs for no reason is clinically insane. This one is actually hard to believe. So I brought in again Tommy Minervini, who witnessed the whole thing. Tom, what happened?
Okay, so like Chris said, we were sitting there at lunch, and Kyer was extremely mad because Marcus is probably about 15 pounds lighter than him, and Marcus does a pretty stupid thing, so he's just not a person that you would want to get body slammed by. So Kyer was extremely mad. Okay, so back to the story. So we're walking down, and we're laughing at him, we're making fun of him, we're just messing with him, and being like, we're doing the things that friends would do to him. And then all of a sudden, we're walking down the stairs, I was ahead of him, so all of a sudden, I just see Kyer stop, and I'm like, what are you doing? And all of a sudden, I see him leap off the top of the stairs, not try to stop himself at all, and land directly on his stomach, and just lay there, and then he got up and started laughing like it was a joke. And I just did not know what to think, because what normal human being would risk seriously injuring themselves to mess around for 3 seconds? He jumped off a flight of stairs to just laugh. None of us found it funny. We found it funny after he started laughing with us. But in the heat of the moment, we thought he was seriously injured, so all he did that for was to make himself laugh. So if you just think to yourself, what normal person would jump down a flight of stairs to make themselves laugh? I just didn't know what to think. It blew my mind.
Yeah, Tom, I agree. I was laughing pretty hard, but looking back, it's just, it's traumatizing.
It truly was. He has done some stupid things, but I think that just tops them all. He jumped down a flight of stairs. A flight of stairs!
And now, Kyer jumped down a flight of stairs, and just to paint a picture in your mind of what this looked like, and then I'm not exaggerating, if you duct taped his arms to his sides and his legs tight together and pushed him off the top of the stairs, the way he landed is what that would look like. Just to express the anger that Kyer feels sometimes and the irrational, stupid decisions that he makes, Tommy's going to share with us another story regarding food and gummy bears where Kyer overreacted per usual. So, Tommy, if you wouldn't mind explaining this story.
Okay, so we were at my friend Luke's house, and me and Kyer are both friends with him. So it was a few days after Halloween, so we had some candy there, and Luke walks out and says to us, "Stop taking my candy." And then Kyer decides to open up the drawer of candy and take probably 5 Sour Patch Kids. Like, I'm talking about, like, the little bags that, like, they hand out. So he has them. He's on to his last one. So we're outside, and I steal it from him. And then he tells me that that's not fair because he stole it fair and square. So then I told him I stole it fair and square. But the issue is, I don't understand how you're going to tell someone that they stole something fair. Like, that didn't make sense to me. He tells me that, and then after I took it, he goes to me, Tommy, I'm going to slap you as hard as I possibly can. And I thought he was joking, so I started laughing, and he goes, yeah, it's real funny. So we were playing with a football, and it was out of air. So I went to go put the pump into it, and I had my back turned. Out of nowhere, I hear Kyer go, yeah, what's so funny now? And he slaps me directly in my back as hard as he possibly can. And I got up and asked him what's wrong with him, and he said, I told you it was coming. I don't know why you're angry. And then I tried to explain to him that he slapped me in the back, so I should be angry, and he disagreed with me.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's bad at admitting his mistakes, and Kyer's one of my closest friends. But it's irrational decisions like these that gets him where he is right now on my list. Jumping down a full flight of stairs like a dead fish, slapping someone as hard as you can because of gummy bears,
and then not admitting to it, and then saying there was nothing wrong.
Yeah, Kyer, I think you deserve a spot on this list.
I 100% agree. I think there's no one else that fits that spot more.
I don't know what else to say. That's the story, and it's like some of these other ones that are just traumatizing. Honestly, just absolutely traumatizing. That this actually happened to a ninth grader.
There's no other way to put it. If people that are watching, if you were there to witness any of these incidents, you would have no clue what to think. You wouldn't.
Because it's abnormal for a ninth grader to behave like these people on the list do, right?
100% agree.
Alright, guys, next on the list here is one that is, for me, the most shocking. In 7th grade, the 8th graders at the time, the sophomores now, and the 7th graders at the time, us freshmen, sat at tables adjacent to one another. I got back from being sick, and Kodiak Duff said, "Watch this." He turned to the sophomore table and yelled Xavier to Xavier McCarthy. And Xavier turned around and was visibly extremely angry and began throwing things and yelling. This went on, I'd say, for months, until one day we got down there first and stole the table. We then went to the office, and this is what resulted. Mr. Myers, the high school principal, what Cody would do to annoy the 8th graders was to go and read useless, pointless Snapple facts and then pop the caps in their ears. So the principal said to Cody, "Did I say in the beginning of the year that you could go around reading Snapple facts in the cafeteria?" And Cody, a little scared and confused, said, "Yes." And Mr. Myers, our principal, was like, I did say that?" And Cody's like, "Yes, sir." And Mr. Myers repeated what he said again. He's like, "I said in the beginning of the year that you could go around the cafeteria reading Snapple facts to people." And Cody, still not fully comprehending, said yes. Now, Mr. Myers tried his best to clearly state, and I think he did a good job of clearly stating exactly what he was talking about. And then he started to get angry and raise his voice and said, I did say that." And Cody still didn't realize what Mr. Myers was talking about. He had to actually break it down for him. Now, I understand this is a 7th grader, a 12 to 13-year-old. But at 12 to 13, it's simple skills, right? There's obviously a rule that you're not supposed to get out of your seat unless you raise your hand, especially not to irritate someone else by reading a useless Snapple fact, right? So everyone in the room knew that Mr. Myers did not allow this. So for Cody to say yes 4 times is it's amazing, honestly. And I remember just crying, laughing at how dumb this was, and trying to hold my laugh and not to get yelled at. For someone to repeat themselves 4 times over something that requires an answer using not knowledge but common sense is mortifying, honestly. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's just like I'm sitting here shocked, and even for me, I'm at a loss for words. Alright, let's just hop in to this next one here. I can't believe this happened. So, we were playing football after school. It's a nice day out. Everything was going well. Out of everyone that plays, I am able to throw the football the best, so I was automatic quarterback. And we had some of the soccer kids playing with us, like Danny Perdomo and Zach Weinkoff. Zach Weinkoff previously dropped, I'd say, about 5 beautiful passes to him. And desperation time, trying to win, a ball to Zach that I I just threw it up for grabs. He caught it over Nico Sanamoros, and it was epic. Now, Danny Perdomo was at safety and missed defense. Christian McCarski was in the area. So Zach gets up, we're all hyped up, yelling, and Christian takes the football and throws it at Danny in the crotch area as hard as he possibly could. Now, I threw Christian to the ground after he did this, not realizing how severe the injury was. Danny was visibly in excruciating pain. So, Danny, who was not involved in the play, either was Christian. Christian's reaction was to pick the ball up and throw it in the crotch area as hard as he could at his own male teammate. It's just a rule. Never throw anything or touch anyone's balls, right? Especially if they're on your own team. No matter what, in a fight, it's cheap to go there, right? But if they're on your own team, what's going on? What are you thinking? To wail a football, which weigh about a pound or 2, very hard at someone's testicles. It's mind-boggling. That might be the worst one on the list. The pain I could imagine that Danny was feeling was excruciating. Not to mention that can actually cause damage in the future. Extremely stupid decision by Big C. And hopefully one that he's learned from and regrets. That's all I have to say about that. Next, and I just want to apologize for my tone because this video has worn me out. Thinking about these things is, like I've mentioned multiple times before in this video, traumatic. But I'll power through. Man, God. Anthony Marco is next. He was hanging out with a few friends. They were walking home. He turned and seriously said, "Is it just me? Or do you guys shiver when you're cold?" Now, when a person says things like these, because to be quite honest, unless it's intentional, I don't. Things like this don't come out of my mouth because I think sometimes before I speak. Do you shiver when you're cold? It's shocking, man. And then tried to argue that he was right. That is what really sets me off. Like, when you say something stupid and you get caught, just be like, I don't know what I was thinking. Clearly. There's no defense for that. Do you shiver when you're cold? There's zero defense for that. I'm shocked. This one is arguably the worst because of how dumb the actual words that exited his mouth were. If you guys can help him out, because I've given up on trying, please contact him. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a full understanding of what I deal with every day, as well as some of my other friends that aren't mentioned on the list. And I'm not asking you to feel bad for me or to seek mental help for me. I'm just asking that I hope you understand why I am the way I am sometimes. It's because of this. Anyway, I'll be trying to get that other video out for you guys by Thursday of this week. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.